So an update, like today, the amount of stress for me, like this wouldn't exist if I could just go for a walk, right? But because the temperature has been set up this way where now I'm in the springtime and it's 80 something degrees, the onesie, it's way too hot, and then it makes me feel weird, and then there's like a bunch of, like if I'm just wearing a onesie out, there's both the physical part and the anxiety part and the social awareness and having more attention drawn to me for like looking oddly. And then that even itself can change the way that I physically walk. So because it's all interconnected that way. But then there's the actual physical pains I have that are valid and all the different types of my body that my parents have ignored forever. That is part of the whole gaslighting thing. And essentially, like, the reason they're such dangerous people, like, these are the two, my parents are the same people that lied about the details of, like, things I was suffering with. And even, I mean, there's so many things. There's so many, that's part of the whole thing, because all the lies, like, saying that I had like this kind of illness or this and something's wrong in my brain is all bullshit. Like, and they used all the shit I had wrong. They omitted the information and they forced me to see like different doctors and psychiatrists that went along with their narrative, but they wouldn't actually entertain like anything that I said about my actual parents. Like, it always had to go back. It's very twisted because I never had like genuine like psychiatrists and therapists as a kid, at least, and even as an adult is only like recently like I'm more like actually open about these things. I think I saw a I didn't read the whole thing from yesterday, the video, and I was making a video and I was just expressing really quick. Someone said like something about social media, but like yeah, you're misunderstanding like my documenting of things if you think I'm like I'm not trying to like use social media like other people. Like, I'm documenting authentic like things that are happening. So, and I don't really have like, people don't impact me outside of my parents are the only ones really that really genuinely impact me, and that's just from many years of trauma. So today I would love to just go for a walk for 10-15 minutes. Now it'd be freedom for me, like just to walk down the street. You see, like things like my parents, they don't have the empathy for me. So like every day, like they never thought about me. They just go out, take what they want, ignore everything I said, and they were responsible fully. Like, that's how it went. When you looked at all the context of the like, yeah, it was always going to be too much because there's so much legitimate trauma that I've endured. Like, everything that it did matter, like what I was saying. And like, so then it's like, do I push myself or did I already? So I would have, that's part of the whole abuse thing that's continued because I never did get a scooter. I never did get those like specific things I asked that were like at the beginning. This is gone on forever. There's been no excuses. That's why I've only been like gaslit, like to the extreme. Like my dad's like literally still acting puzzled, like still he was still arguing with me over like a scooter, and that was the only thing that would have like it would have been so easy to just help me, like just help me with that. And then now I'm like at the point like all this time later, then I see like there's a financing thing for like only like very small. Should I do that? And then it's like, of course, then I'll get this after all this damage. because my dad isn't helping anyway, and it's too difficult to interact with him. And I already explained all of this. Like, obviously, the trauma from the abuse this guy did to me, like looking at what actually happened contextually and going through all of these, there's no, it's like, of course. It's like, obviously, I just needed to be acknowledged, like listened to. That was the whole thing forever. Like, genuinely listened to and heard about what they did to me. Like, for once. It's the whole thing. And yeah, like I'm already too hot just wearing the onesie, even just standing here in my own place, because I can't, that's another thing. It's like all the different things that they build up, if I can't fix them, I want to fix them myself. I can't go back to my dad, everything he forces to go back to him. And he created this whole thing from the beginning. From when I was a little kid up till, the whole thing was to control. And I've talked about this so many times to try to get this. The whole purpose of this whole thing was to document as much as I could, even within all how crazy it was, and how even if it's on social media and you can't really reach many people, or many people that actually have a brain, and so on and so on. I already knew that. I'm aware of all this stuff. Like, I only have so many options, basically. What is that? Is that a squirrel or a pine cone? I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, it's really hard, because I know that I could have a nice little walk, even just 10, 15 minutes. That would take away the feeling of being caged. And then there's just different trigger points that should not ever be happening anymore. This should not exist, where I have to like debate like different things. That's part of the whole thing. Because like my dad, I literally said everything. This goes back 10, 15, 20 years. And they never helped with anything. That's like, it's like dealing with two insane people my entire life. Those were my parents, who were gaslighting me every day of my life. Like, while I literally told them specifically how they could help, and then they lied to like present it to society as if they were helping, but they would take away all the vital parts, and they would only present the one piece. So now I'm still like kind of caught debating if I can manage walking around even for a little bit with the combination of the heat, which I'm already like sweating through this as I speak, and it's probably like almost 85 in here, and the vents, I gotta see, that's the thing, like I've kept the vents off, and I've taken away that nasty smell like over time by doing that. But now it's getting way too hot again. Like, he times it, his timing is the direct inverse of God and like all that's good, because he forces like I have the perfect timing, he sabotaged it every single time. And I was in the right place at the right time. I always had the perfect guide in my gut. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if anything, my parents are both like, if there's devils and evil and good, like, they're fucking evil. I've given all the fucking like leeway possible. I've been given the benefit of the doubt like my whole life. Like, turned out like I was right. They didn't deserve any. Like, I kept giving way too much benefit of the doubt, and like way too many chances. They're not good people at all. Like, their actions don't go with their words at all. Like, you can't just deny things I literally tell you, and things you can help with. Like, I'm specifically like laid everything out detail by detail. And then the guy's asking me again and again and again. Like, literally everything I ever said, it's all been like questioned over and over again and over and over again. Never listened to me, ever. And, okay, and then the only time ever I got anything was always 5 to 10 years later, and then nobody saw the context. Like nobody saw any of it, and then they just piled on me. And then I couldn't defend, no confidence. There he fucking left me to be fending for myself against my own parents who that's why I need to like have my whole story known, like from going from the pharmaceutical company and all the shit they did to me as a kid. And then you go from there and you keep going piece by piece. It's my whole life story. No one, you have all these stupid movies and shit. That's what I learned as a kid. I used to like, when I was a little kid, I thought like those movies were like, oh, it's a crazy life. It's like stupid movies. Manipulated me through all these dumb movies. But yeah, so now I don't know what I should do, if I should attempt to walk at all now. And it's really a shame. Yeah, it's just a shame that I'd have to even like spend any time at this point, like debating anything, and that I would already had figured out. Like all these things are just extra things that I told in advance and I would already had fixed. But my parents just forced everything to, that's what they do. Like they're literally like, they can't be involved or they'll break it. And that's what I tried to avoid it. I tried everything I could do, but like you can't, it's literally impossible. Like you cannot speak to him or my mother and get like a legitimately logical response. It doesn't work. Like there's something broken in their brain. And part of like this whole thing and the feeling of being attacked is because I never got like society to even like give me a chance. Like I never had real like support. Like it's always been like the people like with the authority and my parents, they always abused everything I said, forced me on like drugs I didn't need, said I had things wrong with me that weren't true. I would be honest about like shit that's wrong with me, try to like address it. They wouldn't. They used everything against me and they exploited the pains I had, and they told me things were wrong with me that weren't wrong with me, just to have me on like drugs and sell the whole thing and align with the pharmaceutical, like just weird people that they aligned with, and just really a shame. Like just preying on like this small portion of the population that had money, that aren't very bright, that could even use their kids. To me, this stuff is so important. And I experienced it firsthand, so I care about other parents doing it to their kids. And then denying what they did, and then having the kid like confused, like what's going on. Because that can happen too. I was lost for a long time, like not, I had everything, I already knew everything in my gut, but what they did is they flipped everything so bad that like I was doubting everything. Even though I knew in my gut like what was true, it made me so confused. And then it's so interesting, like to even sleep again. To be in a place that's not infested by roaches, where I'm like not, I used to live in that place for 8 years. I saw roaches in my bed and on the walls every day. While my dad just ignored everything. It's like, well, it's your fault. That's why, like, oh my God, this is my whole life. Meanwhile, I never would have had to go to him to like try to find a place to live. Like all this stuff happened piece by piece. They took everything. So it wasn't my fault. And I tried to work as fucking hard as I, and I tried to do other jobs. I tried to do everything in my power, in my independent way. They wouldn't allow it. It's like, it's not my fault. It's like, that's the fucking thing. Like, people gotta understand the amount I pushed and the pressure on me. And still to this day, I'm still trying to fucking explain. Ah, there's a lizard on the ground. That is so cool. You see, my whole life, all I wanted to do was just like be around the nature and the animals, and I was just imprisoned. I was like caged. My parents were abusing me, and then they weren't telling anybody, and I wasn't allowed to talk to the therapist or psychiatrist about their abuse. Like, do you see how twisted this is? Nobody fucking knows the reality. I've been trying to talk about this stuff forever. Like, nobody knows my story. Nobody cares. If people could actually give me a chance and actually try to grasp what it would be like as a kid, and you're getting forced on pills when you know that's not even wrong with you. Like, the things they're saying aren't true. They're like using you, and you know what's wrong. They're not letting you treat the things that are wrong, and they're abusing you in multiple different ways, especially psychologically. I can't be the only one out there that cares about abuse in general, and especially like giving pills to kids that are going to change their development in their brain and their body at a young age that they don't have control over, and they can't like really reverse. Like, oftentimes these things screw up a kid's like brain, because obviously, especially if they have massive side effects, and like, it's just, I mean, it's basic math and science again. You have so many people just like feeding more pills and things that are just band-aids on top of things, and you're never getting to root issues. And you have people like me who's like literally just speaking truth and being genuine, and I have no say. And it's the crazy, because everything's upside down in this world, basically. You have like the most garbage people that take advantage of people and manipulate, and then they get the numbers of people that are dumber to go along and then support things that aren't probably the best things. And it's just numbers games over and over. And then I'm here just calling out what is in a gigantic world where there is no the truth is like not even valued and or seen often. I don't know why that just saying that kind of bothers me to even say. It's a bummer kind of world. But it's just the reality of the design of this world. That's just what it is. It's just a shame. Or see, if everyone was like me and had the same moral standards and they stuck to them over time. See, mine haven't changed. I don't know if they would change if if I actually had things given to me where I was like, didn't have to go back and I had like actual comfort again, and like could actually relax myself again. Would things change over time? I have no idea. I just know my moral standards and everything, and I don't think so. I think from everything I've been through, like they would be solid as I don't. Other people would always do the manipulation games. For me, I would be solid with my stuff. That's what I think. Because I can't play those, like, I can't do it. That's why I would be easy to take advantage if I was participating in that same way, because I can't, I don't really like manipulating people and just like turn and stab you in the back. I don't know where like other people can do. Like, it's repulsive to me. I can't like participate in it. And I see it everywhere. It's like the whole world. It's like a bunch of like roach people just like, pick up and like be like, oh, if I can they'll be in the position to just like, take things, and then you just take things because it's like convenient. Anyway, whatever. It's not respected or valued just being honest in this world. It's super rare. And it would be nice to actually have something directed to talk about that I could actually like give value to other people and not have to just randomly whatever the hell comes out say. But I don't have control over that, so. It's weird because all the stuff with me, it's all in the details, and that's all I see is like way too many. I'm so detail oriented. I see like everything. And then you have the opposite with my parents. They don't see anything, and they like it that way, and then they just don't care that they don't. See. It's just every possible angle combined of it. Like barely see anything. Also like dumb. Also like very careless. Also very like selfish, and they're so quick to. That's why I know like I couldn't read the things that I was saying to my dad and then just ignore them. Like, I couldn't do that for somebody. Like, the fact that that's even possible, and then to have me, like, literally say the things, you can't have love at all if you're telling me I can't get on, like, a standing scooter to help save my life and, like, go down the street. And then years go by and I'm begging you in text by myself alone. I'm begging and begging until so many years go by and so much damage in the body occurs that was preventable that like, I mean, it becomes completely, yeah, I mean. But anyway, yeah, again, when I'm even to have some consistent days of sleep though, again, I'm like, it's all proof. Everything is more proof because it just shows me like, okay, I can feel a little bit of healing in my body there from the sleep. I actually got sleep. Like, and then I think back and then I'm traumatized by all the years that were forced on me that I didn't have to suffer through. And every different pain that I understood that my parents refused to listen to. And they're the ones, often they were the cause directly. And then if it wasn't direct, it was indirect. I've never been like validated or heard with anything. Not that I need validation, but the support and the feeling of actually being heard would be, I would appreciate that a lot. There's a falcon in the sky. Do you know like how many years I was trapped in a bedroom? And it's so sad. Like how I was conditioned. I had the anxiety disorder where that kept me from being out as well. It's not that way for a long time. It's only been the physical pains that I have with this certain type of clothing and then now with my pelvis being pretty bad condition, and also then there's like so many things on top of another now, and also that's why it's even worse to make me explain. Like after I was literally explaining literally years ago, I've explained like every possible detail to my father. He denied and ignored all of it, all of it. So I mean, it's a monster. That's a monster to me. You can't do that kind of like, and this goes on. That's only one, like, it's so easy to get overwhelmed because there's like an unbelievable amount of like wrong things that are done on a daily basis that are still happening. Like I'm still like even have to debate these little things where that end up trapping me and like forcing me to go backwards at all. If there's any of this anymore, like, and it is, and there still is. So it's like, dude, you couldn't even give that. You didn't even listen to enough to give, and even like, this is decades later. I survived all this against all odds. I'm not supposed to be alive at all. Like, so many times over. Like, thousands and thousands of days where I should be dead. or that was like this close, and I survived all of it. Just to have my parents still like doing the same things, and you can see like in their minds they don't, instead of owning and taking responsibility, this is the bottom line, they don't care. They would rather play the victim and not own anything they've done when it comes down to it. That's what it is. They'd rather blame me and say that I'm like, and have some kind of presentation where they're like the good guys and they can be like, oh, he's just not right in the head and everything he said was wrong. Meanwhile, it's projecting if they say that, because like literally there's something wrong in their brains. Like you can kind of see like when you connect the dots to everything else, when you actually like investigate, which nobody did ever. But you actually look inside under the hood with my parents, and you can, it's just like undeniable. But like nobody ever fucking. And then like, oh, it's crazy because there was only like these old sick people like around my parents, and then that gave me an image as if like nobody listened to me. Also, like meanwhile, I think mostly that my parents were only getting support because it was like they found the other like crazy people, and then the whole feeling was like, yeah, I never had a say. Like how could I in that environment? And there's just nothing but being attacked. So anyway, what if I had been able to go for the walk, and what if that makes the difference? Like, it's really sad. If I, like any of these days, I would have used a scooter and just took the scooter, gone down the street, had just even 5 minutes would have made a difference. I know it. Every different little piece matters of it that can change the outcome for the future. And then you have, it's just, it's very painful to think of the impact of my parents and the things that they're responsible for, and they're not able to even, they don't even try. They don't even try. Like, they don't even show that they're still, like, everything is. It's like the continuous gaslighting, because they'll still always, like, they'll always have that kind of mentality where they're trying to, like, pin things on me and not own what they're responsible for. Like, it just, I know them. Like, they're monsters. Like, that's what they'll always, like, take this easy way that's more convenient, where they can literally lie about. That's my life experience. Like, they've never, they just use me. And I was like some kind of toy to put on display for like their friends, and it's like super sick, because I didn't really realize the extent of it when I was a kid. And then even today, it's still like really weird. I don't understand like how the mentality works, where it's like you got to be so broken in the head, and then how could you have kids like that? And then you're blaming the kids, like, holy fuck, dude. You're like literally like the kids know better, and they're like wired like healthy, and then you're like breaking their health. Like, come on, dude. Like you should be in prison. And then it's like, oh, how many parents do that, and then they deny that they're what they did? Like, then you're just gaslighting the kid and confused, like you're screwing up their whole life. When there's like, you can't do that. It just pisses me the fuck off. And again, then I'm still trapped, like the same feeling. So it's like, there's only so much I can do with that. I should have gotten help from them. They should have helped me any day of like any of the things I asked specifically. There were only like one or two things I asked specifically, like the scooter help, which would have allowed me at least to just get out of the house and get like a couple minutes outside, moving without hurting myself worse. They couldn't even just give me that. Like I had all that time. Like, it's not like, you can't deny. I was here talking about this the whole past year. I was overwhelmed and in serious pain and traumatized most of the time, and it was hard to fucking do. But like, did it. I don't have any embarrassment. Obviously, I would not just leave. I can leave up anything. And so as long as it's just being me being honest. So I don't have any embarrassment or anything over what I do or say. It's like everything is just par for the course. It's like it comes down to like people and not. Anyway, I guess I'll end it there. It's a shame that I have to still have more obstacles there. It's like, come on, dude. But I mean, at least I'm accepting it. I'm accepting every day as much as I can. And that I know that I did everything in my part. It's my parents that refuse to. I mean, that's on them. I can't do anything about that. Like it's become so beyond obvious, and then they're like still stuck in like their thing where they don't look at the details, and like in their brain they think that they set it up like a different way, but like no. Like I have all the proof from decades of proof, and I didn't really actually go over that so people could see. Like, because every time I did try to show the text and stuff, I was too overwhelmed, and it's like I was literally being lighted at as I was trying to do it. So it was like almost impossible to like go through this stuff. And like that's what was happening every time I went back to try to like talk on things. I was like out of breath from from being gaslit. I couldn't even like catch my breath. Because it physically affects me that way. Like it's interconnect. Like I understand every part of it. This is what like my parents. Like you can tell abusers even if there's a like horses and equine therapy horses. There are people you could tell if they're abusers by the way that they treat the horses because they don't understand animal behavior. And it basically comes down to stimuli and response. There's a mechanism in place. If you abuse, like this is the most, it's so frustrating because there's a lot of fucking people, like a lot. It's a lot. It's not a small that will abuse both animals and kids like that, and they'll deny it all. It's so frustrating because I know the experience, and I don't want that to happen to other people. There's innocent kids who could have had their life fine, or like shit was working properly, and then everything gets screwed up, and then you have on top of it, they don't even own what they did. They blame and they deny, and then they pile more things. You see, nothing can work that way. And then if you don't even get, after decades, the person's like proven right and you don't even give them a chance, like I'm almost 40. I never even got a say. Like my story has just been completely unheard. They wouldn't give me like, it's completely, it's nuts. Like the control these like people with the pills and stuff too. Like it's just horrible. I had no way out either. Just had to be forced to go driving, and then the act of driving itself was damaging me. Like they were doing everything in their power to damage me worse. Every time I found solutions and preventions, I literally was only reacting to the pills that they forced on me. Also, like every single thing, my body reacted to the actions. Like the different stimulus, they fucking, like it's literally, it's not that hard. But yeah, basically as a kid, I didn't have the confidence and I couldn't stand up, and then it just got beaten down worse every day. And then I think once I got into like substances after like all the pills they forced me on. Then I got into substances to try to escape the pain of it and all, and being stuck there. And then that's when they could use that against me. And then it's been like many years now since I've used any substances. So then they lost that ability to like take that and use something like that against me or have me confused or anything. So I wasn't able to like, and meanwhile, I think they're on, like the whole thing is so crazy because my parents lost the plot like ages ago. They haven't been able to like do anything properly for ever. And yet I still have no say. That's why this thing has been going on for so long. But in the end, I documented what I could. I documented everything, and like some of us know the truth at least. The words really can't express, like, because you don't know unless you've experienced this kind of a life where like they abused every part and they exploited it, and then you have people not even believing you, and like, and then like the amount of pain, just the physical pain too by itself, like where you can't sit down, you can't, like I couldn't sit down already because of my spine back 20 years ago because of what they did. It's not like it was, and this wasn't like this wasn't a unique side. Like this happened to many people, and then there's so many different side effects that don't even get me fucking started. Because then it's like I have to go through each pill and what that did to me, and then like each thing, then the combination of the different pills and the amounts, the dosages. Just like, how do you even do that to a kid? They put me on multiple combinations and very high doses that weren't even like, this wasn't even like approved by like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, oh, we're just gonna dump all the pills on him and use him as a guinea pig. That's great. No say. I got no say. I just had to suffer the consequences. You understand? Does anybody care? No. That's why I've seen proven to me every single day.